All right, here we go. All right, sorry about that. Something happened with the system. I had to go ahead and reboot, or else I would have lost y'all. So, all right. So one thing I want to begin to let you know is that one of the most beautiful things you can in about you building your business credit, it is up to you. It's how you go through the situation, it's how you go through the times, it's how you operate through the times, and everything else like that. So one thing I want to let you guys know is this: remember, business credit is the future of what you're going to be doing. I already told you that last year, 2020 was a year that exposed everyone to what they were made of. A lot of people thought they were really going to have the high ego and said, "Oh, I don't have to have business credit. I don't need business credit because I make enough money." Well, that might be fine and dandy, but what happened during the COVID when it came about, it swept a lot of people off their feet and really knocked them down. So one thing I want to let you know is remember this. One beautiful thing that you can always remember is that you always will be someplace that you'll be taught a lesson in regards to what your business is made out of. And usually the business is made out of what you have thought, what you have done, what actions you have done prior. The old saying, you'll reap what you sow more than you'll reap what you sow more than you sow later than what you sow you shall reap. So one thing you want to begin to remember is this: it's you that make the difference in building your business credit. It's not us. See, at Corporate Credit Blueprints, we will go ahead and at Corporate Credit Blueprints, we will really go ahead and have you be here. One thing is this, is that when you begin to go ahead and start building your business credit, like I was saying, some people in the primary line program, they filled out certain things wrong and they got booted because they got rejected, in other words, because they put down the wrong information. So why would you want someone to go ahead and give you the wrong information if you were not going to go ahead and didn't want to have success? This is what I laugh at. I said, wow, what are they doing over there? So one thing you want to begin to understand is that you do make a difference. You make a difference in everything you do. You make a difference in everything you do. Everything you do. Everything you do. So now, with that said, one of the other things you want to begin to look at is, what is it that makes a difference? What is it that makes a difference in your business? What is it that you do that will make a difference in how you do it, when you do it, and when you decide to go ahead and do it? One of the things you want to begin to realize is that when you're building your business credit, you want to begin to understand that you are the one that makes the difference. You're the one. No matter what we do, no matter what we show you, no matter where we go, one of the things you want to begin to remember is you make the difference. And why? It's not even the coaching. See, the coaching only does good when you're willing to be coached. If you're a person that wants to do everything on your own, you can. And you can take, 10, 20. Here's the thing. Our team has experience since 1985. I have a question to ask you. Do you have time in life to wait to make the mistakes that we made, or you rather just bypass them and get moving to the credit lines? A lot of you like to go ahead and mess around. Well, I don't know. Well, I'm sure. Well, I want. Either get on or get off the bus. That's how simple it is. Because you know what? Because things change. See, this is what people really don't understand. Even in the business world, things change every 90 days. Every 90 days, things change. So, with that said, just remember, things do change, and they could say, as you wait, you can see. Now, as we move forward, I have a question to ask you. What about this? Do you understand the difference between Social Security number and a 1040? Do you understand everything between a tax ID versus a Social Security number? Like what really is the difference? Is the difference because you only can have one social security number? And how many tax IDs do you wish to have? See, this is one thing a lot of people don't understand. You have one social, you can screw it up. You have one tax ID, and if it messes up, that's okay. You can have, the business can have as many as it wants, as long as you know what to do and how to do it. We had some people in classes that they've changed the way it's done now. So the thing is now you have to do it another way. But one of the things is that you'll be able to go ahead and do it. Why this is so important that your social security number only gets you one level in life. And that's, we'll show you what I'm talking about later. The next thing I want to go let you know is this, is that you have, with a tax ID, the ability to play the game like the rich folks. Rich folks, let me tell you what rich folks are. Rich folks are the ones that happen to know what to do in the middle of the storm. They're like the eagle. The eagle's one of the only birds that I know of and I've read about that fly into the storm. The other animals run. Why is that? Why does the eagle fly into the storm? See, this is the same thing when you know your business. This is the same thing you know when you're working your program on the power lines and everything like that. You're looking at a particular program, you're looking at this program, or even just working the real basic business program, building your business credit. See, one thing here is that we're not here to entertain you. Why? One, I'm not entertaining. Two, everything we give you is great. It's not even information. It's actual facts that you can put into action. We only tell you the stuff that we use, the stuff we were doing. We're not telling you what we once used. We tell you that we've used this before and we're still using it today. We don't go by, okay, this is a possibility, or this is a someday maybe dream. No, it's either is or isn't. We say what we mean what we say. But a lot of you don't like what we say and what we mean what we say, because a lot of it is just be work. But learning the basics will give you the strength to run into the storm. So when a storm occurs, because it will occur. We're not going to give you fantasy land. Nobody talks about that online, hardly. Hey, come and go ahead and get here and get yourself $150,000 to $250,000. We can help you on today. Go ahead and call us at the blah, 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 yada, 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 and we'll get you going. You're going to go ahead and personal guarantee. They don't even tell you that. We tell you that when you do it, but when you do it, we have a way out for you within 18 to 24 months to get out of that personal guarantee. So it falls back just on the corporation because you're building it. Now, if you don't follow the directions we tell you, we can't control that. In fact, someone called me this week and said, you told us that, if you want us to do it, then you'll do all the work, and then we can give you a guarantee because we're going to do everything for you. And I tell you, for that, we'll charge you $300,000 to do it, because I'm not going to sit around and we have to go ahead and take 2 or 3, 4 people off the job to just do the whole thing for you, complete from A to Z. So our time is well worth $300,000, because that's how much you would end up with anyways, or more. You would at least get 3 times your money, or even maybe 10 times that. What's 300,000 times 10? All I'm going to tell you, yeah, we'll do it for you, but a price, because the price is so high that maybe you want to learn. And it actually isn't high, to be honest with you, because the time we get done with you and everything else, you have $1.2 million reported on your business. So, but the thing is, you take time away from other people that we can't attend to that also want to build it, but they have a shoestring budget. That's fine. That's why the reason why I say it's that price. Have it happen? Absolutely. Because they're really, And it's just not, it's like this. They're definitely not tire kickers. They say, well, I want you to build it. I said, but what are you going to do when a storm comes? You're not even going to know how to go ahead and go, we'll call you back. But that's too late. You want to build it during the time or before. See, everything that we teach you is set up for the future. So, because the future is going to show up. The future will show up. It will. And whatever you think about, whatever actions you take today will show up. Will show up. Now, another thing is this. A lot of people don't pay attention to this either. Most people waste over $140 per week. And I kind of added it up for myself. My boy's darn close. You know, sometimes I run late in the morning, so I'll just buy breakfast in the morning and get on the run or lunch. Before I enjoyed a plain, you know what I enjoyed really mostly is a plain old bologna sandwich with lettuce. That's it. And bread. That's it. I don't know why, but that's like comfy food. It's not eating all this other food, the fried food, the cooked food, even a plain old cooked home bean burrito with onions in it. That's it. Nothing else. It's delicious to me. None of this fast food or going to a restaurant where they make it. No, it's weird. I don't know. I'm beginning, like I said, not to like it because it's like every day. I'd rather have just a grilled cheese at home or make a grilled cheese at the office. So it's just pretty interesting. So you spend over $600 a month anyways. And remember, there's 4.3 weeks in a month. Now, a lot of you might say, what does this have to do with building business credit? Well, if you had $50,000 in business credit, it costs you $612 a month if you maxed it out. Oh, but isn't it amazing when you max it out? Guess what? It's not going to count against you or the business because they like it maxed out, because that means you're using the money and they're more likely to want to give you more money when you pay on time and keep on paying in time. Now, when you max it out on the personal side, oh, holy moly, holy cow, holy chihuahua, your score drops about 50 points, bada boom, bada bang. So that's why I say personal credit is never meant to use for business. It will beat you up until you turn into a pulp, and then they'll beat the pulp out of you till you have just the skin from the pulp. That's it. If you don't believe me, go try it. In fact, if you don't believe me, go Google some people out there on YouTube who talked about how they got beat up during the COVID. They weren't ready. And some of them even were some clients, not clients. Some of these people I actually went to and talked to them about it, and they said, well, I don't need to have any credit. I'm making this much. I'm making $30,000 a month in my business, the restaurant, whatever I'm doing, tire shop, my pawn shop, whatever it is. You know, even pawn shops got hit pretty good. Pawn shop. So all these little shops are mom and pop shops. Don't need it. We're doing fine. All right. I said, this is like your future. Building your business credit is your future. So when something comes, you don't have to buckle down. You run to it. You run to it. You run to it like there's no tomorrow, because come on. That's the beauty of business credit. It'll save your hiney. It will protect your assets. Just remember this. If you have that kind of money at $600 per month, that's a little pizza shop. That's starting a business. But a lot of people like wasting their money saying, well, someday, or when I can go ahead and do it, or I'm looking around and, you know, hopefully I can come up with it. Man, you're never going to, it's either do it or don't. Jump or swim. Get off the pot. I didn't want to say the other stuff. You know, you can't have one foot on the boat and one foot on the dock. You're going to end up in the water. Each day, take a look at this. Each day, for those of you out there that say, well, someday I'm going to do this. When does someday really happen? Someday only happens the day you die. That's the someday. Because that's the only time that you'll be able to do what you need to do because you're dead. That's it. There's nothing else going to happen, in other words. All you have is now. And now is the future into the future that you don't even know unless you have the future already roughly designed with a plan so you can make course changes and realize the future is showing up even right now. Why are you here tonight? All of you listen on YouTube, not just on Zoom. Zoom just is a grace because I just don't do it on, I don't want to do the whole thing just on YouTube. I want to go ahead and put this in other areas where I put it at. Facebook, same thing. Facebook people, you know, they are a little, how can I say it? They're challenged. They talk to their friends a lot. So they cast a lot of their pearls upon swine unless they have people that actually are stepped out in life and are doing something. Say, you got to take a chance. You got to step out somewhere. Do you realize this is the only business? When I say only, go out there and all you Google manias and your fact check mania people. I love you to death. Why? Because I've been banging on you guys for a long time, because I like that you fact check. I like the fact that you do a third party verification. I love it. I love it. Because when you come back with the answers for me, it's like, wow, okay. See, here's the thing. At Corporate Credit Blueprints, we're not here to fool you. We're here to do something for you. And when I'm saying the only thing is this, whatever you invest in, that's what you're going to make back in the business credit. That's it. That's it. That is it. A lot of people don't tell you that. Now, that's in the immediate. That's maybe in the first 12 months, because you're really going to have to build if you started at a lower level. But if you start at a higher level, you know, and you invest it, you know, 3 times or 10 times, I mean, excuse me, you invest it 10 times, and let's say you spent so much money, you end up with $280,000, and let's say you spent that kind of money, and 10 times that, because you get that 10 times back. $28,000. I'm throwing numbers out now. 10 times that is 200, over $250,000, almost 300,000, 280. So now, see, you only will invest if you believe in yourself. It has nothing to do with believing in ourselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, eventually we just leave you alone. Why? Because if you really want it, here's the thing. Have you ever noticed when you really want something, you find a way to make it happen, and that's it? This is the reason why we don't sell you. We don't have to sell you. We already know our program works. You either want in or you want out. Leave us alone, go somewhere else. If you have other places, well, I can go here, I can go there, then go. Go, baby, go. I'm going to promise you this much. If you ever come back, it's going to be 10 times the amount, because it's not worth having someone leave and come back, because usually we have to clean up the mess. See, a lot of you right there have done this right here. You spend the $612 and so on. And you're saying someday, someday, someday. Someday's perfectly fine for us. Call us when someday comes, and we just move on. We even refer people to you. I mean, we'll give you 3 people you can go to go ahead and do the someday with them. They'll be glad to sign you up. They have a program for someday people. It works out real fine, real well. Someday you're going to have a payment, and someday you're going to make the money, and someday you're going to have business credit. Isn't that so awesome? Someday, that's like exciting, isn't it? I love the someday program, because y'all tell if y'all really look in the mirror and tell the truth, you know what it is. We've all done the someday mumbo jumbo. Come on. So anyways, stop wasting your money. In other words, go to do something that's going to make a difference for you. This is the only place you do some work. It shows you every 90 days what you're doing. Some people have a score, they're not even doing anything with it. I'm like shocked. What are you waiting on? Go here, go there, go here, go there. I mean, what is the story? So also another thing what I want to let you know is that one thing that's so important is this is what it would only cost you, $612 a month, if you had $50,000 in business credit. And just think, if you had 10 lines of that, you had $500,000, and guess what? It's only 12 times 10. How much is that? 6 grand? Come on. And whatever you might be doing, you've got to begin to realize how to leverage your money. Even people that got into the power program, they learned to leverage the money, because someone didn't have a business yet, but they knew from listening to the previous YouTubes, they said, well, I heard your previous YouTube talk about, you're right. There's places I've been to where I walked into the store or a store or some places, you know what? I can do that business, or I can go ahead and make that happen. But then they didn't have really the money, and they tried to go ahead and get it, and they wouldn't get it. But you know what? But now I said they realized, God, I can take what I have now. They got into the program. and they learn how to move the money around so they don't go ahead and get stuck with a payment. Then on top of that, then some of them already say, hey, I found the business already. Once it's weird. Once they get the trade line and the power program, the thing is that they get their first credit line. For some reason, they find a business. And that it happens because now it's a whole different sense, because it's not personal guaranteed, number one. And number two, aren't you willing to take more of a chance? See, with your personal credit, you get all shaky because you know it's going to screw you up. If you took care of your personal business, if you took care of your business credit the way you take your personal credit, that doesn't do you any good. The minute you max it out, you lose 50 points. Here, you max out the business credit, and if you've been paying them on time, you can go, hey, look it, I need another $50,000. And if you've been paying on time for at least 12 months to 18 months, they'll give it to you. No problem. And that's without tax returns. Without tax returns. You get the $50,000 without tax returns. They don't have to give you the same line. They can give you another line at 50. It saves them from messing with the other paperwork and all. It's a lot of paperwork when you start doing the business lines over 50. No, 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 you don't want to do that. No, no, no. Because it's unsecured. So next thing is this, business opportunities. I just showed you, is this. See, building corporate credit, you want to start learning how you're going to become the bank. In any way, this is just a real simple basic, okay? And this is the only reason why we use this, is because this is what the model that we use, and it works really well. Why? Because everything is secured. Also, there's another program I haven't mentioned it here. It's more mentioned on other platforms. But the thing is this. Again, credit line of 50. You notice I say 50 a lot. Why do I always? Let me ask you, what is it, and why do I mention $50,000 a lot? You never hear me say 250, 350. I'm not saying you can't get it, but a lot of them tell you that, but they don't tell you you're going to provide a lot of paperwork with that. I'm just telling you, you can get up to $50,000 with no tax returns, tax ID only. And a lot of people don't, they hear what I'm saying, but you know what? No matter how educated you are and everything, they don't comprehend what I just said. That's like the gold nugget. A lot of them don't talk about this. A lot of them keep quiet. And a lot of them believing, oh, you only go to banks. Man, I don't care what you think and what you learn. Banks are the worst place to go in some banks. Some banks, because you got to understand some banks' charters. A lot of banks also are, a lot of people don't realize what Bank of Nevada why Bank of Nevada is so powerful for people that actually live in Nevada, which means that you have a presence in Nevada. I don't care if it's a brick and mortar, small 5x5, okay? And you have a phone, you got to squeeze in there. All right? The bottom line is, and say I just told you something there that no one even really tells you about. I just said something just so crazy, you didn't even hear it. Did you hear what I said about a phone? I said you have a phone installed. Anyways, so now the thing that I want to let you know is, because Bank of Nevada does not have a back door. Bank of Nevada does not have a back door. They're not federally insured at all. They do not want the government in their banking business. Thank God for the mafia. They figured it out before the IRS figured it out. So, and there's nothing they can do about it because they're their own bank. Anyways, I'll talk about that later, because that's something else that's in the power program that we talk about and get done as well. So here's the thing. You get $50,000 in line of credit. You get a $10,000 loaned out 5 times, and that's $612 per month for 2 years per loan. All right. Now, loaned out does not mean loan. You're loaning it out. You're using a line of credit. Notice it says on top, line of credit. Line of credit. then you loan it out, all right, it only costs you $612 per month for 2 years. Now, the payment of $50,000, like I said, line of credit only. Line of credit, I do not even encourage you not, don't ever get a loan if you can avoid it. I rather have a credit line all day long because when I pay it off, it's still there. And on top of when you get a credit line, when you pay it off, it's standing there, or while you're in the middle of it and you've been paying well on the credit line for over a year, you can go back to the same lender and say, I have a question to ask you. Can I go ahead and get another line, but not attached to that line? And they'll see how you look. Talk to the banker. Talk to the credit union. Go find some insurance company. I just gave you a bunch of other stuff right now. Just gave you. My team's just going to shoot me. All right. So here's the thing. In this particular program, you gross $3,000 a month. You minus the 612, you made yourself almost 2,500 a month. That's almost 30 grand a year on one deal like that. All right, that's the perfect world. Let's go to the other side, because you're going to have those the people out there who want to again, you're going to have people out there that you see this and they're going to cast the pearls upon the swines, and the swines are going to go ahead and attempt to talk you out of it, which is usually your family members, your loved ones, some of your dearest friends that love you so much. They love you so much. And this is not for you. You do better if you do this over here, because they know what's really well for you. They understand you, and they know what's really good for you. You shouldn't take any risk in life whatsoever. Come on, folks. And you listen to them. And some of you were even one of them one time. Even one time in my younger years, I was one of those, hey, I don't know, man. I'd be a little, then why don't you just wait a couple of years? What do you mean wait a couple of years? Man, I'm so glad that when I started my thing, I didn't listen to them, even though when I was younger, I gave dumb information like that out. All I'm going to tell you is this. And some of you, I know you've been out there where you went and you dealt with people. And the thing is that you got burnt by a business company trying to build your business credit. You sign up, 2 weeks later, they go into the witness protection program. They could never be found again. Then all of a sudden you see on YouTube some other place. You can go online and find a lot of my old stuff, Corporate Credit Blueprints or University of Corporate Credit Building, UCB. You can find it on YouTube, some of the old stuff, when we did the live seminars. Nothing to hide. We've been around for a long time, and we've done great things. Back in the day, if you want to say, back in the day, all right? See, right now you all have a lot of youngsters. You have youngsters, middle schools, and you got old school. Old school means there's a lot of old schools that we out there have a lot of depth, and we know what to do when things come up before they come up. See, a lot of you think these big corporations don't plan. They plan for the storm, and they plan to carry. Or sometimes they say, you know what? We're not carrying. Do you think Wells Fargo didn't plan for something to happen in the business of the banking business? You're trying to tell me, are you that naive in the world to really believe that Wells Fargo didn't have some kind of plan in their kitty, in the filing cabinet? So guess what? So when the situation, you don't think they knew that they're going to have people inside try to bamboozle and take money from people? Come on, give me a break. You really can't live in that kind of bubble, do you? This is the reason why in Corporate Credit Blueprints, we tell you everything about that's coming at you. We tell you the bad, the ugly, and the good. We get you prepared to fly into the battle, which means you fly into the storm. So even when you lose, you win. And a lot of people don't understand that phrase either. Even when you lose, you win. I don't care if you're a one-man pop shop that's a sandwich shop and you just only do so much a year. I don't care if you do $100,000 a year, but I'm pretty sure if someone came and tried to rattle your cage, and even if you lost, you still won. See, we set you up just like anybody. If you were a Fortune 1 company, which means Fortune 100. You're 1 out of 100. Why? There's no difference between the Fortune 100 than you. See, a lot of you are so naive again, and you say, well, they're doing really big. Well, let me tell you, Mr. and Mrs. and whoever out there, smarty pants, you don't think they started at ground zero? You've got to do your history checking. You check Bezel, Apple, all these other companies. Most of the people that thrive and keep going are because these people started, guess where? In a conversation with their buddies about how they're going to get funded. And eventually they studied the game and they realized, wow, OPM, other people's money is going to make me the money. Oh, I see, I like that. I have a credit line. Oh, I have this, I have a credit line. This is a credit line will make you an extra $30,000 a year having 5 houses. We only do real estate. 5 houses a second. And you want to take the choice of the first mortgage to see how much it is. Do you want that kind of loan? Because if you end up taking out the house, you're going to end up with that first mortgage. All these things. Do your due diligence. We have a class on this about what due diligence is. We have a checklist that you go through that you don't miss. Also, another thing we have, also one of the, as the people that join up for the power program, which is the power lines, is this trade program, is this. They end up, we give them 2 certificates, 2. Verification of funds, up to $600,000, no interest, no points. Okay? There's a fee to join, but after that, you have to use those particular documents within 90 days. So if you can't find either 3 properties at $2,000 a piece or a little under $2,000 a piece, or 1 or 2, or maybe you go to another area, you can find 5, I don't know. Then, and then you get 2 of these things. Why? Because we make money as well. Because the houses, guess what? When we lend you the money, you're not going to have no interest on the payment, but our money's backed by what? It's backed by security, which is backed by real estate. Is real estate worth something, folks? See, this is the things you've got to begin to realize. And it's OPM. The credit line is not. The credit line, approved credit line, the credit line, it's OPM. We don't care if you're a low-life varmint. We still have the houses. It's up to you. And it all depends. We do our due diligence in some areas. But other than that, hey, cool. Do it. Why? Because it only can be done for real estate. That's it. It allows you guys to see the reason why we do that, because I know some of you said, if I only had. Well, then there you go. If I only had. Oh, well, then you're going to wait. Well, what's your excuse now? I just threw that out tonight. I just got it. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. The crew said, what are you throwing that out for? Anyways, so here's the thing. Cash flow. Cash flow will free up your time. This is what I talk about. See, a lot of people might think, oh, look at this silly thing right there. Really? I tell you what, a lot of you don't have this behind you. The reason why that we are so brave is 1, it's a business. 2, it's under tax ID. 3, I'll show you in a minute something else. But 3, you have a backing, because the backing, that's the OPM. See, look, you can say that's Bezos. You can say that's Steve Jobs. You can say that's Gates. You can say that's Hillary Clinton. You can say that's Donald Trump. You can say it was, Madoff when he was doing good in life, not being turned sour. Anyone that you found successful tonight that's built himself from the ground always had OPM behind him. And I mean that guy with the big teeth, that saber tooth. You guys have behind you is a bunch of air wishing and hoping. You're thinking, oh my God, I can do it. And you have just a little arrows in that one little bow stick. Well, now you have arrows in a bow stick and say, okay, you know what, OPM time to come in place, because I found this dream I want, and my bow stick and my arrow's not going to do it. And then the OPM steps up, saber tooth. See, you folks really got to begin to look at your life this way and see what your life really has to deal with. I mean, a lot of you are slaving every day. If you work 8 to 5 o'clock job, when you get home, I know you're tired. I know you're tired. Then you still got to do this. You got to get hold of the bills. You got blah, blah, blah. You got to go here. There's a party to go to. Folks, when you do the OPM, you begin to switch the level of life to where now you don't get a leftover paycheck. You get to go ahead and take off the top, which means the deductions, because the OPM allows you to go ahead and have the business. And on top of that, if you don't understand what OPM is, other people's money, then guess what? We'll teach you. See, everything's teachable. One thing about our program is this: you're going to get into different levels of programs, but we have the Harvard PhD program in business. There's not one college course out there, and I've said this before, there's only one college, ENMU, Eastern New Mexico University. They're the only ones. Back in 2010, they were willing to take a chance on a program that never came to fruition due to some instances that kind of came up. Wasn't bad, not about the program, but some things shifted. They're the only ones that were willing to take a chance. And on top of that, think about this, business people. All right, Harvard yo-yos. I can call you that because I'm a Colombian. Colombia. Now, guess what? Mr. Masters, or your business executive program, what do you know about starting a business, not working in a business to help them do their business? See, they don't show you actually how to go in there and say, hey, look, I know about Dun & Brad, I know about business experience, here's how I know. Here's the company I have started. Here's what we're starting. We're in the same industry as you. I want to go ahead and present myself to you because I understand what it takes to build, and also how much I can advance your business because OPM. Here's my schooling, here's this, here's that, yada, yada. And on top of that, you have the experience, what it is to open and really have a business that has a plan because you know how to acquire funds just like the big boys. Again, do you think what's on the shelves, they paid for at Walmart already? No. Do you think Costco paid for the stuff on the shelves? No. All I want to tell you is remember OPM, and this is what your life, this is what you really want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really what you really are looking for, is that this is you in front all the time. I don't care who you are, but the ones that walk this way with power, it's because they got this behind them, the saber-tooth OPM. The OPM, other people's money, saber-tooth. When you have that behind you, you can get a little cocky. And I don't mean like cocky, like arrogant cocky, but enough to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And you go fork out here you go. Here's my racks. You maybe might even buy yourself a Subway. Subway is one of the least expensive to get in, and the lowest one makes about over $100,000 a year. And then you kind of figure, okay, what else am I going to go ahead and do? Because now you're hiring people. You're making a difference in society. You're adding to the quality of somebody's life. See, here's all the things, the attributes. Bezel adds a lot of quality to people's lives. And people are saying, he doesn't pay any taxes. Well, you know what? Because it's not that he's smart. He's smart to get the smart people to go ahead and do what needs to be done. And the IRS can't say anything because he got the right people. You say it's not fair? You know why it's not? You say it's not fair because you're not studying and you don't have the information to get fair. That's why. You rather go ahead and complain. See, we're not here to be your attorney. We're not here to be your tax advisor. We're not here to be your financial consultant. But we are here to go ahead and educate you and teach you what it is and where to go. And some forms we might give you. We tell you, hey, you know what? Go here. Go here. Go talk to this attorney. Here's 3 attorneys. Go talk to them. Here's 3 tax guys. Go talk to them. I know one tax lady we like using a lot. She's really good at what she does, and she likes to boast because she's good. See, these are the things in Bezel, and Amazon hasn't paid taxes either. Why? Because it keeps giving and it adds and gives and does this, makes a contribution. See, you can still do them. Those of you that are in, that really have a deep belief and are believe that you're a believer. What difference could you make in the world that you can actually set up your own kind of school where you can go ahead and actually teach what you wish to teach inside of the religious base part of it, and making a difference, building foundation that much stronger for society, for the next generation of kids to grow up with some kind of quality, knowing, you know what, it's not just about the money, it's what you can do with the money to make a difference in the world, that it just keeps coming back at you, because no matter what you do, it keeps coming at you because you keep giving. I mean, there's just many ways you can do this. And you give not because you want back, you give because that's what's in your heart. And I tell you, in your business, it will show. It will show. Saber-tooth tiger, that's my friend. Why? Because that's who has my back. Now, you're going to learn never to bring the pain home. You're going to learn never to bring the pain home. Also, you're going to learn never put all your eggs in one basket. You're going to learn about a corporation, then the 3 divisions. All right. Then on top of this, also another thing. This is one thing that when we start with the power program, the power program is this: we get the corporation going first, or if you have an LLC, we'll switch it over, or we'll keep the LLC and then we'll switch later. The thing is, we're going to have your division set up because you're going to learn how to daisy chain that money that you get. So let's say you get yourself, I don't know, $300,000. What if I tell you we're able to get each one of these, would get the $300,000? That's 3 times 4 is what? 1.2 million. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Now, here's what I'm talking about: source of income. 4 points of income that we use. This is what we use. This is what we do. Real estate. Why real estate? Even right now, people say, oh, it's booming, it's really high. I don't care. I'm going to tell you something out there a lot of people aren't doing yet, and you're probably beginning to hear it. But here's the thing. How about this? Hold on. My mic took a little sideways here. All right, go. All right. No, I lost myself. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So now what the thing is that there's the 4 points of income. Real estate. You know what the most powerful real estate is right now? Vacant. 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 If you pay full price on vacant, I hope the vacant lot slaps you. No vacant. Franchises. Let me ask you, if you had the availability of funds to go get a franchise, why not? Why not rake in an extra, I don't know, $9,000 a month? And then real estate, you're going to flip, I don't know, maybe another $9,000 a month. Or you hire a family member or whoever you trust to do that for you. Now, profit sharing is something that we talk about in the power program. Also, leverage your money and credit. You've got to know how to leverage your money and credit. Here's the thing. I don't care if you have 10 credit cards and they're all at 29%. You still have 0% interest. And a lot of people argue with me, no, I don't, it's 29. Well, you better grow up and learn how to add. And you better learn how to read your agreement, because you don't. If you want to make that argument, then I'll go ahead and talk to you about it for a little while. But the thing is that it's the bottom line is you don't have 29% at all. Because if you pay it off before the 29% is due, which means the payment time, then guess what? You get it at 0%. This is how you learn to leverage your money. So you can always pay all the credit cards off the way you want, and keep moving around until you start pulling more money in to go ahead and feed the machine to actually pay them off. We show you how to leverage your money so you can keep a safe environment. All right. Now, next thing is this: plan on the problems. We have in the training, we teach you how to plan on the problems, not to panic. See, the more you begin to plan on the problem, you begin to realize why the saber tooth is so important to you. The saber tooth is OPM. The saber tooth is OPM, other people's money. What you want to begin to learn is, guess what? You're the one that makes the difference. You're the one that has the thoughts of good, bad, and ugly. It's the ugly bad that gets you in trouble. You want the good. But you've got to remember the ugly and bad thoughts come because of lack of preparation. Lack of preparation. That's why we call it the line of defense. You plan on the problem, so when it shows up, you're ready for it. Again, like I said, Wells Fargo. You don't think they knew that eventually you're going to find people inside the system are going to find something inside your system to go ahead and hustle the system and attempt to make money. And eventually it comes out because the system's designed to expose it. But they think, again, very smart, but they weren't smart. They were just smart rats. All right. So they planned on it. They wrote off $450 million. All right. They wrote it off. They BK'd several little branch offices. Why? Because they knew this model right here. They knew this model right here. They had all different divisions. We have all different numbers and everything else. We're not attached to the main deal. So they knew what to do to negotiate, arbitrate, incorporate, and to go ahead and boom, and just slice it off and say, oops, there it is. We're sorry. And notice nobody went to jail for that. Nobody. But if it was you, you would have went. All right. Now, you're going to learn about also what the SS form is. You're going to learn how to set up the line of defense. You're going to learn never to bring the pain home because you're going to learn the SS4 number. You're going to learn how to use it, just like you know how to use a fork and spoon, or better yet, you know how to use your fingers when you're eating ribs or something. All right. Now, one of the most popular packages that people get, they get a starter package. This is one we usually give out. Not give out, but people actually start at this particular level. So this here, we have that. Also, another thing. This is what usually included in the power program. The power program, all this we cover. We cover all this. Why? Because it's important. It's important because every little bit makes a difference when you're going after no PG, cash line credits, you know, anywhere from 30 to 50. If you get four, you know, 3-4 companies giving you 40,000, what's 40,000, you know, times, I don't know, 4, it's 160. No PG. You don't even have to do a hybrid program, then you have the personal guarantee that. Then you wait, make a couple of payments, and you be going for another round. You end up, how about 5 or 6 at 45? Or even 40. 5 or 6 at 40. 6 times 40 is 240. You have 240, 160, what you have now. See, it's real simple. It's real simple. Also, we'll teach you how to use vendor credit, business credit, and trade credit, then the cash credit. You want to be able to know what it is to use a vendor to go ahead and get items you need without putting the money up front, just like Walmart. And you best have an audience for it to move it. And we teach you also strategies that Walmart, Costco, any of the big fortune companies do to go ahead and move it so they don't have to pay on it and they get credit for it. There's just ways to do these things. So one of the most beautiful things is this. When you're with Corporate Credit Blueprints, we don't sugarcoat anything, but we do tell you this. You can make it big in life if you want to, and if you're willing to follow the directions, because we can take you anywhere from $100,000 to up to what, $42,500,000 is what we can take you to for sure. Now, as we go on to let you know, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a Corporate Credit Blueprints. All I want to say is, again, have a good evening. It's okay. I did pretty good today. All right. Have a good evening. Again, if you want any questions, you want to set up people on YouTube, Facebook, listeners, if you want to set up, go ahead and send us info at corporatecreditblueprints.com, or just go to www.creditblueprints.com, put your information, put down your free consultation, and we'll go ahead and do that for you. Here's one thing. And the consultation, some of you probably out there have called, I don't even ask you, are you doing it or not? Either you are or you're not. And sometimes I'll listen to you, and sometimes I'll say, oh, you know what? Call here. But you know what? All I can tell you is this. You're the ones that make the difference. You're the one for those who've been pressing the subscribe button. Wow. We don't even ask you to subscribe, but you have. And that's the most powerful subscriber to have, is the one that's done it without us asking. So I just want to acknowledge you subscribers that have subscribed. Thank you, because you make a difference. Because the thing is, it's the quality of subscriber. It's not that the other ones don't subscribe. It's just not their cup of tea or whatever it might be. But one of the things is that those of you that subscribe, there's something about you that you really know that you want, and you're up to getting it. So, by you sticking here and doing what you got to do. So YouTube people, good night. Facebook people, good night. LinkedIn, all the other ones, Instagram, Thank you so much for everything you're doing. And let's go ahead. We're into the second quarter. So where are you going to be at the end of the second quarter? This is April. We got May, June, and July. Also, another thing to let you know is this. Before we leave, is one thing on the I'm gonna let's see what they say. Okay, yeah, on the spots in the power line program, we only have 2 spots left, and that's it. The first one I did the first quarter, I took on a little too much, so I'm actually kind of wore me out. But hey, lesson learned on that one. So we're just labeling it down just to a few, not as much as last time. Last time I had was in the double digits, so way too much. I'm going to keep it in a single digit number because this way I can go ahead and manage it a lot better. There's some things I wasn't getting to bed till like 2, 3 in the morning and getting back up at 5:30 and 6, so it does wear on you a little bit. So now I learned it. So there's 2 more spots. If you're going to waiver, some of you, that's fine. Wait for the. I want to just tell you this: if you get in now, you'll have your stuff ready for the end of the year, which means around August. Because it takes time to set everything correctly for this because it's so powerful of the program. Then if you end up doing it in August, September, you won't have until January next year for that particular program. The size of money. If you're a person that's just going to do regular building, that's perfectly fine. We do that. But this particular program, the power program, no, we're only doing 9. That's it. 9, and that's it because it's a lot of work. And then on top of that, some of you have other things going on in life, and I have to reel you in a little bit. Say, look, you don't think I have stuff going on in life? You don't think I have a life? You don't think I have this? My commitment to you is when you do it, especially the power program, when you do it, we make sure you take care of those of you that come in with on a different program, the same thing. We're going to expect the same high level of quality from you as you expect from us. When you say you're going to do X, then do X. If you're not, then you're just nothing but a blowhard. That's the bottom line. I love you guys. God bless all of you. And most of all, remember this: you are the one that make the difference.